about the white rabbit. If you'd really like to know, he went that way. You may have noticed, but I'm not out there myself. To get started, block out your eyebrows any way you know how. I like using the classic glue stick trick. I specifically like the purple one because you can tell when it's dry, when it becomes clear. Put that on with a spatula and then powder it in so you can lay the paint on top. For this look, I'm using one of my favorite whites in the Wolfe FX, the Hydro color. Love the coverage, really opaque and nice. Start off with a fine brush and just make a circular motion all the way around your eyebrow and up onto the first top half of your eye. Try the best that you can, as close to a perfect circle as possible. Start blocking in his cheeks. It is much easier to use a picture for reference. I'm definitely doing that since this character is a little more complicated. Go ahead and fill in the rest of that area with a body painting sponge with the white. Just make sure to leave the eye area open and the nose as well. Go ahead and paint some streaks in your hair too. For the teeth, I am using a larger and a smaller round brush. Now I like round brushes because when they're wet, you can manipulate them into small points, which is great for doing the teeth. Press the bigger brush up against the top of your lip and align that along with the top of his mouth. That makes sense, right? And then go ahead and use the little pointier brush and make the smaller teeth. You'll then switch back to the bigger brush once you start getting into the molars. Bring those teeth all the way up his cheek. They go up pretty far into that curly smile, so make sure you bring them up all the way. For the bottom teeth, you're only going to be using the smaller brush. As for the placement, just make sure you check your reference picture. It really helps. Now that the bottom teeth are in place, you can go ahead and map out where the rest of his chin is going to be by using this sponge. You can also drag the sponge in a downward motion. It'll kind of start creating the look of fur. Here I'm using my old school Snazaroo top 28 colors. I typically end up using them for colors I don't feel like mixing myself. So I'm going to be using that for the gray. And with a larger brush, go ahead and make some streaks where you want some of the fur and the shadowing. Again, just keep referring to the picture for the placement of the colors and the stripes. Unfortunately, I forgot to hold it up for you, but I am using the Wolfe FX Black to do the darker stripes and to integrate the hairline and the rest of his face. Yeah, sorry about that. Now you can take the same brush and go along the edges of your chin, pulling in a downward motion to create fur-like strokes. Also go with that same brush but with white above that area to fill it in a little bit more and blend this line together. Going back to the Snazaroo palette, pick out a bright little pink and curl around the edges of your nose with the brush. Follow the own shape basically of your nostrils, it'll help. And we're gonna make the cute little kitty nose. Don't forget the little half circle underneath, and then just outline it with black with a very thin brush. Now, you do not have to do this if it feels uncomfortable or funny or tickles too much, but I always like to paint the inside of my nose. I just feel like it makes the difference between looking more cartoon-like on camera. You can see the difference there, so it's totally up to you, but I like to fill it in. So go ahead and bring that line all the way down and pull it all the way across. Make sure you connect it to the teeth, make the cheek shape, and make a small curl at the top of his smile. He's got that really kind of sneaky smile. Go ahead and make another line all the way down at the bottom, connect the bottom teeth, and pull it all the way across. Now I'm going to make two lines just as a visual for myself to know where his bottom lip is going to be. I am going to fill the whole thing in, but it's just a reference guide for myself, so you don't have to make the two lines, but you can. Go ahead and fill it all in with the black. To keep it from smearing while it's drying, hold your mouth open just a little bit, and then I find that powdering helps to keep the paint from transferring later. So this is why I made that reference line a little bit earlier, so I could just easily follow it again with some white, and then go back over that same line with a little bit of pink from that Snazaroo palette. Again, same as on the nose, just to give it a little more depth. For his beautiful blue eyes, blending is the key. I use 3 different shades of blue from darkest to lightest. It looks more natural, and I find if you practice on your hand first, it's a lot easier than starting on your face first. Keep your eye closed, let it dry, and then powder it so that it doesn't crease. Grab a fine tip black eyeliner. This one is specifically by Physicians Formula. It's really nice and smooth, and it makes really thin lines, which I like. Again, reference picture for the shape of his eyes and the corners. As for the inner corner and outer corners, this is what I want to use, and then I will switch back to the Wolfe FX Black paint when I'm going for the top of the eye, because the paint will blend a little bit better. Now come back in with the eyeliner and we're going to draw the pupil, which in this photo is basically like a slit. And it goes all the way into the top of your eyelid, so be kind of careful when you're doing this. Make sure you hold your eye down so that it doesn't smudge before lifting your finger up. Powder it to seal it. Then take one of the back of your paintbrushes, dip it in white, and make the highlight. I ended up coming back in and making the inner corners of the eyes bigger. Alright, use a bigger brush and smudge in some of those blue stripes that he has in on the top of the eyebrows and the forehead. Then you can use a smaller angle brush and black eyeshadow for detail in areas like the nose, the eyebrows, everywhere else you want to do it. Go back to your neck area, fill it in with black, throw in a few whiskers, and you're good to go. Alright, here is our final Tim Burton inspired Cheshire Cat. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. You can find me at Bengal Queen on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ew. Stupid. Yeah, everyone wants to see that. Spin. Sit. Good boy. I think you got it, man. I think you got it. That's it. Aw, thanks.